It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Good day and welcome to the program. It is County-Wide. I'm Brad Miller, and we're very happy to welcome into studio today some folks deeply involved in a tradition. It's become quickly in the Camp Verde area with the Camp Verde Arena Association. President Mary Phelps and Vice President Stacy Barker are here today, and we're so happy to say hello and good day to you, and we're glad you could take time out of a busy schedule because you got a big event coming up here pretty quickly. So thanks for coming in and sharing a little bit of time with us.
Thank you very much.
This is terrific. The first thing I want to tell our listeners, because a lot of them will follow along, maybe grab their computer or their phone while they're listening to us, not if you're driving, of course, CampVerdeArena.com. Take a look there for it's a good website. It's well done. You can find your way around what is happening. You can find out about the Fort Verde Days rodeo that is coming up here in conjunction with Fort Verde Days in Camp Verde, but also the calendar of events throughout the entire year at this very busy Camp Verde Arena. And I want to start with just a little bit of history, if we can, there for an operation that's really still a fledgling, still pretty young. You guys do an awful lot of business and activity at the Camp Verde Arena. 6 or 7, Mary, years since you broke ground, kind of, sort of, and now we're in our 5th year already of this big event.
Yeah, so we actually broke ground, I want to say 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We incorporated in 2018. The facility alone was at the town's property. It was a blank piece of natural side of a hill. And
perfect spot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The actual main arena itself was bought by the town of Camp Verde from Bullhead City, which was at that point home of the Turquoise Circuit Finals Rodeo.
Okay.
They brought it over to Camp Verde to hopefully build a facility, which sat for over 15 years.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. There was just your own personal interest? Was there community demand? I mean, there's the Prescott Rodeo. How many do we need in Yavapai County?
Yeah, so my family is one of the original settlers from Sedona, Arizona, actually based under the Chapel Rock.
Okay.
And I grew up rodeoing myself, doing gymkhanas from Cornville at Rhodes Arena to the Cowboy Church on Salt Mine Road. I moved away for 9 years. I moved back with a beautiful daughter who did the exact same thing, wanted a rodeo.
Yeah.
And a lot of the arenas were no longer. And I pretty much went to a friend of mine who was actually an old counselor of mine and said, what is there for kids? We need an arena here. Jackpot Ranch, which is another wonderful facility. But we needed something for our kids, for the youth, that they could go and have fun, learn, and this is how it all started.
Just like that, yeah. Sometimes it just comes on the wind.
Yes.
There's the demand because it's something you grew up with, and those opportunities weren't afforded to young people in the same way. And now look, and certainly it was a good idea because it sure has kind of taken off. Stacy, your involvement is why?
Well, my involvement it comes around the same way of Mary. Family being born and raised in the Verde Valley in Camp Verde, and when it was brought to me, when Mary made the call, we immediately jumped on to help out, to be part of, to build something for the future, to build something for our kids, and our kids' is where we're all headed. And we stood at town council meetings and said, support us, folks, because when we build this, people are going to come. And that's where we're at today.
Let me be a smart aleck for a minute. People say, well, all you need is a flat stretch and some fencing and bang. You got yourself a rodeo.
No.
I know you're both laughing at me saying, oh, you sit down, Mr.
Every single day.
But talk about some of the pratfalls and headaches and what it took.
Well, actually, the arena panels, and I wanted to kind of go back to that. The town of Camp Verde put it on the agenda that they wanted to sell it or donate the arena to someone.
Okay.
And that's when I reached out to friends and family, said, hey, look, we need to save this. Town of Camp Verde needs this. And that's how again, we spoke to the town manager at the time, and he says, you know what? we don't want anything to do with this. That's why we're wanting to get rid of it. If you guys could come back to us with a group and tell us what you want to do and your plans, then let's try to get it passed. And numerous hours, lots of sweat, tears, happiness into it. I myself operated a dozer.
Yeah,
I operated a dozer out
Hands
there.
on.
I mean, it was, and I have to say, I literally lost my foot building that place.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but
it's been, a small group of people nonstop for 7 straight years, and it continues today.
Yeah.
Every event that's put on is by that small group of people, still chugging, still plugging, keeping going. And it's turning into something amazing. We're getting calls all the time for more and more events, concerts now. Really just amazing.
Yeah. Well, location. And
Right,
it's in a great spot. Let's talk a little bit about some of those events, and then we'll focus in our next segment about what's coming up here most quickly on the calendar. Friday night jackpots, the Yavapai County Junior Rodeo, 4D motorcycle barrel race, all of these kinds of things. And I think I'm looking at last year's calendar, so I don't know what's yet to come. The Redneck Roundup Demo Derby, I just based on the name, I want to know what that's all is. So clearly you found a lot of variety and a lot of different things that you could do at this property. How did all of these come about? Again, just brainstorming?
Well, you got to think where you're again, like you said a minute ago, location. You're right on I-17, basically. You're right on Highway 260, in and out, very simply. So a lot of people came, saw some of the events, saw our parking lot, saw the quality that we demand out there, and want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mary?
Yeah, I mean, we are in the heart of Arizona. And the biggest thing with traveling myself personally is the open space that we have. The parking lot, there's not one facility that has a parking lot like we do. And our main goal from day one was that we were going to build a multi-use facility for the youth, for educational purposes, and it's getting around. We got rallycross for cars. We have dirt bike racing. We brought monster truck event this last year, which they are wanting to get on the calendar 2 times this next year in 2025.
Right. You bet.
The Redneck Roundup Demolition Derby. That was something that I think I remember as a kid at the Verde Valley Fair was the Demolition Derby. And that came back, which is a big fundraiser for VACT, for the Vocational Academy. And then we do, it's not just equestrian. And that's what our main goal is. It's not all about equestrian livestock.
Right.
It's all things for the youth.
Yeah.
When you see our board meetings like we had the other night, it's all about what are we going to do for the community? What kind of donations? This organization needs this. How can we help them? I would say, Mary, safely that we're at 90% donations out there for all these other organizations, not to mention that we show up and volunteer to help them out. And that's what's really amazing. That's why I feel the Arena Association's blessed, is because of what we give back to the community itself.
No, go ahead.
Another big part of that for our community is the Verde Valley is truly one of the most beautiful areas that I've seen on the West Coast. I'm in the western side of the United States. My daughter and I are in different arenas in different towns, probably 3 weeks out of every month at rodeos. And when you come and you sit in our stands and you get to see Squaw Peak and you get to see all the way around Dominguez Mountain, and you get to just look out at the green, beautiful Verde River.
Yeah.
We're just set apart from most places.
They make movies with the locations.
We're set
like
apart
that.
from most places.
One of the things, as I kind of go down that roster of different events, is everything on here is really mindful toward kids, toward the youngins, whether as participants or as spectators. You bring in monster trucks, you're going to bring kids. That's by design, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, that's
Correct.
clear that was part of your thinking from day one.
Yes, absolutely. Just keep in mind, we are a nonprofit 501c3 association. And our biggest thing from day one when we sat down is we need something for the youth. There is nothing here anymore. We want to bring in that atmosphere for a safe place that kids could do things and have fun safely.
Right.
And that's why we bring in such an array of different events. And we continue on doing that. And we hopes to, right now we're almost booked almost every single weekend from the variety. And we just hope we can continue that. And I know one thing is a lot of people think this is a town arena. This is a town-run facility, and it's not. It's run all by volunteers. There's not one paid volunteer out there, even including the board. We are not paid, and we are out there 24/7 making sure that place is beautiful and bringing in different events.
Yeah, and there's a lot happening. Again, the website is campverdearena.com. Take a look. It's terrific. You find all kinds of information there. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk about the 5th annual already Fort Verde Days Rodeo that is coming up most quickly. We'll talk with our guests about that. Again, Mary Phelps is here. Stacy Barker with the association. I'm Brad Miller. We'll be back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology, factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Thank you so very much for your generosity and kindness in helping others. I hope that you take advantage of the many Arizona state tax credits available when giving to qualified charities and schools. If you haven't taken advantage, I hope you'll ask your favorite charity if they qualify. You can go to Arizona Department of Revenue website, search for tax credits, and look at the list of qualifying charities. Then look at your latest Arizona income tax return and see how an Arizona tax credit can benefit many. This is Lewis saying thanks again.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
Again, welcome back to the program. I'm Brad Miller with Countywide, and our guest today, President and Vice President, respectively, Mary Phelps, Stacy Barker, with the Camp Verde Arena. The Camp Verde Rodeo Days coming up alongside Fort Verde Days, and this is going to be fun, October 11th and 12th. And will there be 2 full days of action at the arena, Stacy?
Yes, every evening there will be the performances. On Saturday, we will have the special needs rodeo earlier in the day, and then we will also have the a little youth rodeo that will then transition into your main performance Saturday evening.
Okay, that's terrific. Now, we mentioned in our first segment the location and that easy access off the 2 main highways, 17 and 260, and to me that means a lot of folks can get to you quickly, get a hotel room, get fed, get all of those kinds of things, all the amenities that are close by. So that means it might be attractive to rodeo participants that aren't from our area. Is that?
That's correct.
Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah. So it being centralized, as again, we're the heart of Arizona, so we're very central. It's right off 17, right off Major 260. So we're getting contestants from all over, from the Navajo Reservation to our neighboring cities and down in the valley. And we're even finding some from New Mexico and California as well.
Sure. When we talk about the event itself, the rodeo itself, we're going to see what? Stacy and I shared something before with the listeners. I want to bring it up in the air. When I was a kid, they were horse shows we went to. I know what you do is different. I think what everybody does now is different. I remember my uncles doing what did you even call it? They did the barrels, but the rescue, the third man would be down by that far barrel and pick him up on his horse. My 2 uncles did this, and it was the most exciting damn thing I ever saw in my life when I was 6 years old.
Well, and also one of the craziest. To do that, they do that a lot up in the Northwest. They do a lot of those, especially at like Calgary and and Cheyenne. They'll do it on the edge, and those boys are flying through there. So I mean,
baby.
it's not it's not something easy. They're just pretty much crazy when they do that. Yeah.
But that was very informal. I mean, these were things that were held nothing like the facility you folks have. So it was just local boys with horses having fun.
Oh, yeah, a lot of fun, yeah.
And okay, but that's kind of what rodeo really was, wasn't it? You shared some rodeo generic history where a lot of times it was just who's the toughest hombre on the ranch. That's the guy that's going to ride the bull. That's the guy, that all these things kind of came not from really ranch practices, but from kind of burning off some steam on the weekend when the day is getting late.
Well, you'll hear a lot of quality rodeo announcers explaining how bareback and saddle bronc came to be, you know, and some of those style events, and then how it was built where it was actual ranch work that turned into the competition.
There you go.
You know, your tie down, your team roping, stuff like that. And then I would probably have to ask my daughter, or Mary can probably elaborate on where barrels came to be with that. But it's easy to see how bulls came to be. You know, you had your toughest, maybe the guy with the most screws loose tried it, and ended up being one heck of an event.
I think one of the most exciting events besides bull riding is the wild horse race.
Sure.
That is a 3-man team, and that's what kicks off our rodeo is the wild horse race. And their job is to get the horse out of the bucking chute, put a saddle on it, and then they have one man that has to jump on and ride it.
Wow.
And they have to pass a mark, and that's their job. And it is a show. It's a lot of fun. But another exciting thing for Saturday night that I would really try to express on people come out, we do a lot of work on making our opening ceremonies great. We want to show recognition to our heroes. So Friday night is our Tough Enough to Wear Pink for breast cancer awareness. But also it is for our firemen, our police officers. So we bring a lot of our locals in. Okay. And then Saturday night is our military night.
Oh, okay.
And that is a show to see. We have a Frog X parachute team. They are retired Air Force, and they will jump from over 3,000 feet in the air in the dark and bring in our American flag.
Wow.
So that is Saturday in the dark. And I have to say, I think there's not one dried eye in that facility Saturday night when you just see that flag coming down.
I think that's one of the things that draws people to our arena is that patriotism. They come from a long ways away to come and see that. I mean, people are standing, cheering, trying to find, was that a falling star or was that our guy jumping? Right. You know, it's amazing.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like the nighttime kind of thing.
Yeah, we've heard that our little open rodeo is one of the best rodeos they've ever been, even including the NFR. We put a lot of pride and work. And again, it's all done by our association. This is our major fundraiser for our nonprofit is our rodeo. And we bring in the reason for this is to showcase all of our locals, to give back to the community. And we put a lot of pride into that.
It's really interesting just hearing you kind of run it down, how many different kind of seasonings go in this single salad to make it really something that's going to be memorable. I mean, it starts, I know on the 12th of October, you'll start for next year.
That's for sure.
That's how these kinds of things go. So by the time we get to those 2 days, there's been an awful lot of work that goes into it.
It's a year-round planning. And we've built kind of a family. Our stock contractors expect that phone call. Our rodeo clowns expect that phone call. Everybody's like, when are we starting this year, Stacy? When are we going to move forward, Mary? Right. What do you need from us? How can we help you guys to be successful? Because they know that this rodeo weekend is what allows us to provide so much more for all the other clubs and youth things throughout the year until we get back to our event to replenish our coffers, basically, is what how we want.
Yeah, it's just like just like that. That's how successful nonprofits run. Is like a business the clocks are always ticking, and the calendar turns over every single day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So no rest for the weary. All right. What we're going to do is we head toward our break. Let's do some final pieces on this. CamVerdeArena.com. We keep saying that website because it's terrific. Can I get tickets there? for this and other events?
Yes. So
Okay.
you can go to KVRDarena.com. There is a link to purchase tickets.
Okay.
And on our Facebook page as well.
And then the schedule of events is terrific. So I'd keep that, probably bookmark that one for all of the things that happen throughout the year, including the 5th annual Fort Verde Days Rodeo coming up on October 11th and 12th. For our final segment, we're going to throw Stacy out of here, and we're going to bring in a very nice young lady. Kennedy Ballard is the junior queen. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Stacy's
sure.
got one more thing before
One
we
more
toss
thing.
him out the
Stacy's
door.
always got one more thing to say, but I want to make sure that we definitely recognize Oxendale's Ram in Cottonwood here as our presenting sponsor. So we just want to thank them very much as well. Thank you very much, Brad.
Those folks make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're still bringing in sponsors. So if you are willing and wanting to sponsor, because that's what makes our rodeo continue and go on is our sponsors. And we are totally blessed with the sponsors we have in our community. So
Sounds terrific. All right, Mary will be back with us for our final segment. Again, Stacy, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for allowing us.
Setting this program up for us. And Kennedy Ballard, our junior queen, will join us for our final piece of Countywide right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Thank you so very much for your generosity and kindness in helping others. I hope that you take advantage of the many Arizona state tax credits available when giving to qualified charities and schools. If you haven't taken advantage, I hope you'll ask your favorite charity if they qualify. You can go to Arizona Department of Revenue website, search for tax credits, and look at the list of qualifying charities. Then look at your latest Arizona income tax return and see how an Arizona tax credit can benefit many. This is Lewis saying thanks again.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
Welcome back to the program. Again, it is Countywide, and today talking about the Camp Verde Arena Association. Lots of things happening there all around the calendar, and you can take a look at their terrific website, campverdearena.com, for a schedule of events, and the event coming up most quickly, of course, October 11th and 12th, alongside Fort Verde Days, is the rodeo event. This is going to be a lot of fun, and Mary Phelps in studio, and a guest has joined us for our final segment here. Kennedy Ballard is the junior queen.
Yes.
I need the voice, hon. There you go. She's nodding her head and saying, yeah, like that. Okay, now explain this to me, the two of you ladies, how this works. There's no such thing as a good rodeo without rodeo royalty. And Kennedy is that, and we'll have, a new queen being crowned? Is there a pageant? How does this process work?
Yeah, so Kennedy is actually our Miss Fort Verde Days Junior Rodeo Queen.
Okay.
And part of the royalty is they're ambassadors of our rodeo.
Sure.
They travel all over the state of Arizona, sometimes going to the neighboring states. But it is an annual title. And every year for Fort Verde Days is we do a pageant. So this year she was our 2023-2024 Junior Rodeo Queen. Okay, so outgoing queen. Can she be junior queen? Can you be queen this time?
Yes, I do have my application to run for the 2024-2025 Miss Fort Verde Days.
Okay, what did we say? Good luck, break a leg?
Good luck.
break a hoof or that kind of thing. Well, that's fun. Kennedy, what's your interest? I'm guessing you probably ride and have kind of the ranch lifestyle too, or no?
Yes. So ever since I was really little, I've always had a passion for horses, and I always wanted to be involved with them. I would muck stalls and feed horses morning and night just to get riding lessons every Saturday. And just a couple years ago, I had gotten my first horse, and ever since that, it just has grown. And then I got introduced to the rodeo royalty world, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's terrific. So you're going to kind of continue along this. What do you kind of get? I suppose you meet an awful lot of new people that you might not otherwise come into contact with.
Yeah, so what I feel like I get most out of it is not only do I get to travel to almost any rodeo I want to in the state of Arizona, I get to meet new connections all over the state of Arizona and meet new people and inspire people to do what they want to do.
Well, terrific. Congratulations to you. And that's just awesome. Young people going out there with a positive message like that. Well, ladies, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that same website for a comprehensive calendar of what's happening, including the upcoming event, and all from the Camp Verde Arena Association. CampVerdeArena.com. Our guest today, Kennedy Ballard, Junior Queen, Mary Phelps, the president of the association, Vice President Stacy Barker. I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.